Live at the door. All right. All right, you're good. You go inside.
Good morning, everyone. Hi. I have two folks from Nashville who do a lot of stuff for the community, and they do a lot of not only are they incredible musicians with their project Ghost Town Remedy, but they also host a thing every year called Jorts Fest, and they also have their own label, and they're doing lots of fun stuff. So hi, TJ and Steve. Let's fucking go and say hi to everybody.
Hey, what's up?
Hello. How's it going?
Thanks for having us on.
Hey, absolutely. I met you guys at last year's Jorts Fest, and it was fucking awesome. We got to do play the first backyard set with the new covering over Cobra, and it was fucking killer. And so let's kind of and then you guys have some stuff coming out for Ghost Town Remedy. There's a lot to talk about here. Does it feel like there's a lot you're doing all the time?
Yeah, my brain is exploding right now.
Okay,
I gotta be real. Between the fest and band stuff and just life in general, I've got a cajillion things pulling me in all directions.
Well, let's kind of go through all that stuff. What is 2025 is a big year for everything that y'all are doing. Let's kind of walk through what those stressors are and and what it's been like, and anyone that wants to do that kind of stuff gets kind of a view into what a busy freelancey world that is.
Yeah, I mean, let's vent. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's fucking go in.
Venting will be great. Oh man, I kind of need this because as we were saying, there's a lot of stress going on. I mean, running a festival, especially a DIY fest, where it's if things don't go well, that's money out of your pocket. There's a lot of stress in that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, we're working on a lot of projects at the same time. We're working on trying to get a Ghost Town album finished. We're working on obviously the festival, and then just touring and stuff and playing shows. We got a tour coming up with Dad Hats at the end of the month.
Hell yeah!
And we're hitting Midwest, and that'll be super fun.
Is this to promote the new record? Because it's been 5 years since Dry Spell has come out.
You sure has.
Yeah.
So it's funny how that works too. When Dry Spell came out, we were honestly kind of in a similar place we are right now, where it's we were kind of just struggling to get everything all together, and then the pandemic hit, and we were like, oh, we have all this time to do everything now.
Yeah.
And we got it done. And so now trying to get everything done and it being back to whatever normalcy is now, I think we're realizing that it's a lot of other factors kind of pulling everything apart.
It's we need another pandemic.
Yeah,
I could use another pandemic.
I think that we could go for one more. Everyone's got to finish their records. Everyone needs a little bit of UBI.
I would love some more UBI. That was great.
Bird flu, do your thing.
Yeah, I know. Let's hurry it up.
Let's go.
So during pandemic times, I was kind of, when I started this podcast, I talked to a lot of people that are the 1,000 days later thing, where everyone's I wrote, or I got my equipment, I wrote, I recorded, and then that's kind of the cycle, is 3 years, and then everyone's kind of releasing their records 2023, 2024, and now 2025, it's kind of all these records there's way less records this year because no one's able to kind of find time to get back. Everyone, had all this time to write records and shit. And so now that was it harder to come back to the reality that doing this on the side is kind of a fucking nightmare?
Yeah.
Great question. Great question.
Yeah.
We're getting into the real nitty gritty of this.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I speak for both of us. I mean, we love the music that we make, and we love getting to like hang out and play shows and stuff. But it's work, and it's like it's hard to find time to do something that doesn't like directly pay you back.
Mm-hmm.
Because we live in a capitalist fucking society.
It's kind of alchemical. It's like it's alchemy where it's like I'm putting in this all this money and time, and what I'm getting back is like this weird form of attention, where it's like, okay, I can put all this stuff out, and then it's now in like this digital space where people can just listen to this compressed form of my time and money.
Yeah,
exactly that. And I mean, and it's throwing it kind of into the ether a lot of the times. And, part of playing the game these days is doing the necessary evils, which is making things for TikTok, making things for the Instagram reels, making things, just all these extra things that pile up on top of what the real joy is, which is writing and performing the music.
It's funny. I just got done the last episode. We're recording this on May 14th. So yesterday I released an episode with this guy, a homie named Jimmy Montague, who's in this band Pretty Rude. And he said my favorite thing, I think, in a long time, which is, and I'm probably going to get it wrong, but the gist of it is playing shows fucking sucks. And it's like, in the way that he saw it was, it's like, I just want to be in the fucking studio making shit for the rest of my life. And it's the best feeling in the world. You just want to you want to play something and you want to hear it back and you want to twist it. And no one a painter doesn't want to go out and like paint live. Right. They just want to go and be in the room, be paid to be in the room, and make, and that's it. Like, do whatever you want with it when it's done, but just let me be in the room.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I mean, we love being able to create, and just that's what we kind of strive to do and thrive at. But going out and playing shows is it's a hassle, but it's fun sometimes. I mean, I have fun playing live, but it feels more like work. And
totally.
The studio just feels more like natural, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and not to say that I would say that homie was he was a little jaded, and I get it because he's just been doing it for years and years and years and years. Mm-hmm. But there are still moments of levity of okay, fine, I do want to maybe it's not about playing the show, maybe it's about the concept of performing, where I love performing and I like being on stage, but everything that happens in between getting up on stage and wanting to play that show, the booking part of it, getting all the other bands, getting the fucking place, and making sure all these stupid ducks are in a row. That's what I think the big part is, where the negative exists. And it bookers need to be totally praised, because their job is literally to facilitate all the dumb bullshit for shows. But performing is great. Everyone loves to get up on stage and do the thing, even if it's for 5 people. Yeah,
totally. Yeah, and I feel like so much of the responsibility has been kicked back onto the artists themselves. Before, promoters used to actually find other bands for the bills. Now it's the artist has to come with a full 4-band. You have to organize the entire bill, and you have to promote it. Venues aren't really promoting the shows like they used to.
It's really funny you bring that up, because it's kind of the same thing that I've heard happens in Hollywood as well, where the way the movies are made, from what is it's not just a script comes in, they're bought, and then they piecemeal actors, directors, and coming from the producer's standpoint. It is now the writer partners with a director and an actor, and then it comes as a package, and then they go to the producer and ask for money to make this thing with this thing. So it's like now, if I want to book a show, I like, and you have to play that little dance of, hey, bands, I don't have a venue yet because they won't say yes until I have the bands, and I know that you guys aren't going to say yes until we have the venue, but who's willing to fucking buckle a little bit and like so we can get this all together? It's a fine little dance that I feel like only we all do.
Yeah, and like luckily I think a lot of the DIY bands understand the dance. Mm-hmm. At least to an extent where they're like, yeah, okay, we can block out this day. But again, even that's not guaranteeing a good spot to play.
Yeah, and totally. It's like you might like, there might be like, oh yeah, okay, cool, we got the venue, but it's like something garbage, and you're like, oh man, I don't want to play there again. Now you back out, and they're like, well, shit, I'll find a replacement. And then it's just like there's just stuff. It's so. This side of like, I feel like that it just goes to show like how important is the performances and why it's so worth it. Like that 30 minutes on stage is worth the 12 to 24 hours of work it took to book the whole thing. Like it's totally worth it.
It's like, yeah. And thinking about it like that too, it's like so much work goes into just one little 30 minutes set.
And that's it.
Yeah, it's crazy. But like for that 30 minutes, like I feel like myself, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, it's like the light hits your face and you're like, okay, cool. This is vitamin D to a plant. Like this is like 1,000,000% like where it's supposed to be.
This is my purpose. When for 30 minutes, I've had my purpose.
For 30 minutes.
Like, yeah.
So let's work a little bit backwards. What was it like planning this tour? When did you guys start planning it? Where are y'all going? Has that everything been announced yet? It seems really exciting.
Yeah. So it's a weekend run with Dad Hats. It all started with we got accepted onto Midwest Friends Fest, which I love those guys. Super cool festival up in Newport, Kentucky. Newport, Kentucky. Which is basically Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got connected with them and we applied and everything and we got accepted for it. And then we found out that Dad Hats also was accepted for it, and we're homies with them. We've done a tour with them in the past, and they were like, yeah, let's just do a little weekender out of it. So the whole thing, we're starting May 28th. We're going to Richmond, Indiana, which is Dad Hat's hometown. So that's going to be a fun show. Mm-hmm. So we got Richmond, Indiana. Then we're doing Columbus, Ohio. Then up to Toledo, Ohio. Then back down to Cincy, basically. So just a little Ohio, Indiana kind of run.
There are weekenders, and then there's like the big weekender. Like this is like there's some weekend runs where it's like that's not a tour. This is tour. This is 4 fucking dates, dude. Like that's a tour. It's a lot. It's enough for a poster. Like
yeah,
it's a sprint.
And we got more than an hour outside of Nashville, so I think that counts.
Yes, specifically. So let's kind of go through kind of more like the history of y'all. Y'all have been doing this for over 5 years, I'm guessing, considering like
time.
the
long time.
Did y'all have anything out before Dry Spell? Did y'all just like fucking just go straight? Like, hey, I'm just going to drop a fucking record and just see how this goes.
You want to take that one?
Yeah, we had stuff before. I don't. Do you remember the dates? Because I don't remember.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah. We put out our first album. Is technically. I know the exact date. I know the exact date of everything. It's September 8th, 2017.
Cool.
So 2017, we put out an album called Caffeine Dreams. Mm-hmm. And it is since, that was like our first album was that the first one? No, we did an
EP before that. We were in a band previous that,
Yeah.
We started playing music in, what, 2012?
Yeah, 2011, 2012, that kind of area. So I've known Steve for like forever, over 10 years.
And we're from Northern Virginia. So we had another project back then, and then that kind of fizzled. And back when Mumford & Sons was still like core music, were
you guys doing boom clap stuff?
We were
doing folk shit. Yeah, we started off as a folk band, and that's where like the name was like Ghost Town Remedy. Like that was like a folk band name.
To 1,000,000%.
Yeah,
okay.
and it's all making sense now. But
yes.
so the first album we put out 2017 is like it's like half folk songs and half rock because we couldn't decide what the hell we were supposed to be.
Sure.
So since then we've taken it down because like booking agents were confused and they were starting to put like folk artists with us, even though our live show was much more like rock.
Yeah.
So eventually I took it down and we put it on Bandcamp. So it's on Bandcamp.
Okay, cool.
The first album. So then I guess since we reinvented the band, Steve moved to Nashville. That's kind of where I consider the band restarting. Then we put out Dry Spell. So I think Dry Spell is really like the best first album, I would say, for us.
That makes a lot of sense.
And we even reused Learning Curve. That song was on the first album, different version, like totally different recording of it.
Much different.
Funny.
We revamped that one for Dry Spell, and we're like, we like this song, like let's redo it. It's got a little bit of like Nashville twang to it, which will fit well.
So you moved down to Nashville and you followed. How long between you coming down and then you following it?
So I moved down in 2016.
I was here in 2018, beginning of 2018.
Okay, cool. So you came down here first. Why did you want to make the jump down to Nashville? Was it like you came here to like, I want to fucking do music?
Yeah, so I went to Shenandoah University for music production. That's up in Virginia. And I did my internship. I got accepted to an internship at a studio here in Nashville.
Okay, cool.
So I moved down to do my internship. I was working at Southern Ground, which is Zach Brown's studio. So I was working there for a summer. It was really cool. I mean, I got to... I was sitting in as an intern working during like the Casey Musgraves like Christmas album. That was in July, middle of July.
Yeah. That record's great.
Yeah, it's an awesome record. I was there during the recording of it. Just young, super fresh intern. Oh my God. Yeah. And like they gave me some food and I had no idea like who the artist was or I just didn't know anything. I didn't know who Casey Musgraves was. I didn't know a goddamn thing when I moved down here. And they gave me some like, it was like an omelet or something. And they were like, hey, can you hand this up to Casey? And I like walked into the control room and I was like, is there a Casey in here? And just everyone started fucking dying laughing.
Yeah, oh my god.
Because I had no idea who she was when I first moved here.
Golden Hour was out by then, and it was like a #1 huge record. And that's so wild. I wish I was there. That would have been just because that's also like the best way to do it.
Yeah, I just had no idea who people were. I didn't know how to act around people that were like famous and all that. But you quickly learn by being in a studio and being around that environment of like they're just normal people, you know.
They're just people. Famous people are just people, and like they act more just like introverts because they just don't want to go outside. Like that's the only thing I've learned about like famous people. Yeah.
So that was my like dumb fuck up of the summer.
Hell yeah.
But it was funny. I think they all thought it was funny. But so I moved down here for that, for recording, and then eventually I bugged the hell out of Steve and was like, dude, you gotta move here. Like we're getting the band back together. Let's do it, man.
Yeah, and we had finished Caffeine Dreams. I was living in Portland, Oregon, I think that time, because I remember listening to mixes in my job. And I'd moved back to Virginia, and then I was going to check out a couple places to move from there because I didn't want to stay in Virginia. And Nashville was on the route, and we played like a little. I guess it was
it's like the album release
show. We weren't really like established anywhere, and but it was a lot of fun. It was like Cafe Coco, and that was
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, it was really fun, and I just kind of fell in love with the scene over that weekend.
Did you do full band, or did you do just like a little, acoustic set or something.
No, we did a full band, but
Yeah.
we had to like bring in a band because like we did not have like real members.
Sure.
So we brought in Jordan on lead guitar, and then Rich was playing bass. So this is how we ended up forming our lineup for Dry
Okay.
Spell.
Yeah.
Cool.
So like this one show, like I brought these friends together that I had. I knew Rich because he went to Shenandoah.
You also lived with him.
And I moved when I moved
I
down
ended up
here.
living
He was
with
my
him.
roommate. Yeah,
Cool.
So I was like, okay, Rich is a guitar player, but we like made him play bass. You know,
Classic.
like one of those things. He's like, yeah, I'll
Fun.
I'll play bass for like this one show. It's not going to turn into anything. And then he was like, oh well, you know, we got to get this. I know this amazing guitar player, Jordan. Like we got to get him on this too. And then we got Jordan added to it, and we also hired like a keyboardist.
You know him
sick.
from like a wedding van.
Yeah, I knew this keyboardist from a wedding band, and like we hired him on to do the keys parts and stuff. So that was my first like putting together a band to do something like in Nashville, like that, bringing together like hired guns kind of thing. But then from that, it turned into like the actual lineup of what Ghost Town would be.
I mean,
with
that's
Jordan
pretty
and Rich.
remarkable. Like,
Yeah.
there's definitely like the movie. You can kind of see the montage of it all, and like you can see like the film of it, like settling by the way you described it.
Yeah, and then I ended up moving down here, and we kind of just hit the ground running. We played a lot of shows the first couple of years.
Totally.
We did my first like long tour. We went up to Canada and back.
Oh fuck yeah! How long was that tour?
2.5 weeks.
Yeah, it was 2018. So it, like you moved in
I moved
February.
here, and then we went on tour.
we played a show the week you moved in.
Yeah.
At Rocketown, like at the White Building.
R.I.P. again.
RP,
Yeah.
another RP. So yeah, and I used to run sound there too.
Cool.
So like, I was like very familiar with everybody and helped set it up and
had
all
the
that.
in.
I had the in, yeah. And so we played Rocketown, and then like literally like 2 months later, like we were off on like a almost 3-week tour up to Pooza Fest,
Cool.
which was awesome. Like, and since then we've played Pooza twice now, and it's like the coolest
It's
fest.
really fun.
That sounds like, first of all, booking that kind of stuff, was that just like, cool, we're playing like, this debut band show. What was it like, looking at the concepts of doing a tour? Was it like this huge thing that you hoped to just accomplish, or was it something that as you were doing it, like the no fear side of it turned like, oh, what looks like a mountain like ended up being just the hill?
Oh, so I had no idea what I was doing. That was like the first tour I ever booked.
I love the bravery.
yeah,
I love like the shameless, no fear, just like, I'm just gonna fucking do it and just see how it goes.
Yeah, like I knew I wanted to do like a big tour because we applied for Pooza Fest and we got accepted for it, and I was like, I don't want to just drive all the way up to Canada and play one show and back. Like I want to make a tour out of this thing.
Yeah, totally.
And like I learned a lot of lessons from that tour. Like
We all did.
like especially like booking, like you probably shouldn't play Philly on a Monday night.
Oh yeah, holy
and-
shit.
or just shows in general on a Monday night.
Oh yeah, that's a day off. Monday's day off forever.
Exactly. Like Monday and Tuesdays are kind of like yeah, not so hot. But everything else is pretty decent. Sundays, those can be hit or miss.
Yeah, totally.
But it really depends, like, and also like just knowing your market, like, because this was our first time touring, so all of these spots were like totally new places for us. We've never played any of these spots.
and going back to like the only thing we had released had this Mumford core like
Yeah.
backing to it, so
'Cause
we
we
had
didn't
all
have
of
Dry
these
Spell yet.
People lined up to play with us that
Oh my
were
god.
questionable if they really fit with us.
Did y'all hire a booker? Did you book everything?
No, I did it all.
Okay, cool. Hell yeah.
Just DIY.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, that's a big fucking learning thing.
yeah. Since then, I've gotten a lot better at booking tours. Like what is it? 8 years later or something?
Are y'all doing a tour every year? Like just to make
Try
sure that
to.
like you're like still doing it like as a bit almost vacation sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we at least do like we probably average about like 2 or 3 weekend runs a year.
Cool.
Do like one longer one.
Yeah, and we try to get like one that's like what, like
A week to 2 weeks.
week and a half, 2
Yeah.
weeks or something every
Oh,
year.
hell yeah.
Like regardless if we put out an album or something, we just try to. We like touring, and I just like playing shows.
Is there like there's something about the time and the money that you put into something and the tour part of it and like the merch part of it, is there like when you're doing about like 3 weeks, like a total 20 days a year, you would say, would it, when it comes to like getting time off for those kinds of things, are you both like in freelance positions, or are you both like have a job and do this on the side?
I wait tables, so it's really easy for me to get out.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and I've always been like freelance sound.
Okay, hell
So
yeah.
like I make my own hours. So like I know not everyone can do that kind of stuff.
Totally.
And it does like hurt, like skipping a lot of gigs and things like that. So you just kind of have to prepare for it and save up a little bit.
Yeah,
and
being smart with your money, not being too reckless with it.
Yeah. Is there something about how like I'm 37, I started my band like in middle of my 30s, and it's kind of wild to see like in interviewing people that are like in their early 20s and then just like them being as reckless as fucking possible and just see them just fucking go for it, just get in the car that barely works and just drive across the country. And there's something like really Wild West and fun, and it's, you know, it's cinematic in a weird way. And as you know, in the later years of doing this stuff, what are the things that like make you still want to keep doing this?
I mean, I'm just a fan of traveling, so any reason to get out of where I live is a good reason, and we get to see a lot of places all in like a short spurt of time. You know, you get to meet all sorts of different people, and then you get to melt their faces, and it's a good,
I mean,
good time.
you get the double guitar thing is like forever so sick.
Oh yeah.
Thanks. I'd go 3 if I could. I'm trying to get 3 guitars.
Okay,
Like-
nice. There's like the one guitar that's like split, so you can do like the 2 taps.
Yeah.
So you can do 2, and someone else can do another one. Like there's a lot of room for those
the
kind
Michelangelo Badio thing.
of things. Yeah, dude. Like there's
Yeah.
there's a lot of fun shit you can do with that.
For sure. Yeah. What was the question? It was like, why do we tour, or like, what do we still get out of it?
Yeah, what do you still get out
Yeah.
of doing, like, you know, it's, you all have been doing Ghost Town for close to a decade.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy to think about, and we only have the 2 albums. Yeah, we put an EP out in between that. So we did put out like Terminally Chill, which is our Christmas or like holiday album.
Yeah.
We did put out a holiday album in between that, which took a lot of time because it was like a lot of original songs too.
Uh-huh.
So
Well, it's like on top of that, we were also doing like compilation albums, and it's not that we weren't working on Ghost Town stuff, so we were more trying to bring that community together, you know, because Nashville's weird in that way, where it's like it can feel like a community with a certain amount of people, but it never feels like full city, like everyone.
Oh yeah, I mean the community, Nashville to me has been like, I've talked a lot of shit on Nashville on this podcast because there's a lot to talk shit about.
there's always shit to talk about.
There's always shit to talk about, and it's like a mess and it's ridiculous. Is it like still beautiful in its own ways? Like totally. What would you say is like the thing that Nashville is either missing the most or that it does wrong the most?
Dude, just traffic and like driving and
Well,
just
I
roads.
mean, in regards to like
But
music,
in the music scene, yeah, I mean, where to begin? The music scene, it's such a complicated subject here because it's like, depending on who you run into, it's like everybody's out for themselves.
Yeah,
like that's what it feels like. But when you find those people who are like genuine, like people that love music and love other bands and hang around the whole set and like show up to shows that they aren't playing at, like those are the people that like we want to be friends with. Like, and I strive to do that myself too.
And,
yeah,
and we're all guilty of also not being a part of that. It's an exhausting thing to keep.
We'll never go to enough shows to like. If there's too many bands, there's too many shows, and there's too many venues, and it's just like as much effort that we can do. Like, I think that's another reason maybe why I started the podcast, because I was just like, at least I don't have to worry about like leaving, and I can participate in another way, and like give back in like another way, because like Nashville, it's and maybe it's just DIY in general and like in this space in general where like being a musician and giving back is like kind of measured by your audience in a weird way, where like people like have to there's an expectance of like, oh well, these guys have played together. There's a huge chance that, you know, they might go to that same show, and then you kind of have to work with the expectancy of your audience to maybe even fucking show up, even if it's just for like a band. It's very strange, and Nashville is pretty like on it about that. There's a lot of expectancy.
Yeah, and it's really, you know, it's saturated too. So
it's saturation of Nashville is my biggest problem.
It's insane, and I mean, it's hard to expect people to show up to every gig and also expect yourself to do it. But you know, you gotta give yourself some time to like decompress from.
I mean, there's a show every night. There's a show every night that is like
10 shows
every
night.
night.
There's a show every night that's like there's like a 10 out of 10 show every night.
Right.
And then there's like if you want, like you were talking about like going to Philly on a Monday, you can go to Nashville on a Monday. You can if you market it correctly. The audience is there, you just have to convince them. They could go to a Monday night show, and they do. It's just there's so many other incredible shows that they can go to, and convincing the audience to like have eyes on your show, I think is the hardest part of doing shit in Nashville.
Right, because like it's so easy to stay at home and not go to any show. But if they were to go to a show, there's like 5 shows that are better than your show.
Exactly.
That you have to get them to go to.
Like it's like how do I convince everyone to go to like I think that's what's so great about Dark Matter is Dark Matter is known for like hosting an incredible show. And so like there's a little bit of like more like shiny points of like saying that your show's at Dark Matter. I would what other places would you say? I would say Cobra in a way, Eastrum in a way. There's like a lot of like good places. Maybe not so Cobra. Cobra, I feel like is a little bit dirtier, where I'm there to kind of like more hang out and like be at the good bar. Like I'm there to have like shots of Fernet and like a beer, and then also see a band. It's like my third thing on the list. There's a lot of good places. What are some places where like, oh, they're playing there? I'm excited to go see something there.
Oh man, I miss Highwatt for that reason.
Yeah,
sure.
That's the one.
Like for smaller bands, like Highwatt was a big deal for us to like get on those shows. Another spot, I mean, the End feels like a pretty solid spot as well. If you have, I think
the End is like it's especially seeing like it's just a legendary spot. Like it's if you get like to play there, I think it shows like where you're at, like in your levels of like show acceptances. Like, I finally am passed through a ceiling where I can play the End now. And going to the End is just always a blast. It's like this guy who's been around for 1,000 years is serving you beers.
Bruce, shout out to Bruce.
Bruce, shout out Bruce.
Bruce
like,
rules.
Bruce is like the actual homie, and it's that person has been around since the beginning, since the Big Bang. Like it's awesome.
And it's really crazy to kind of watch the space around the End just go like get bigger and more expansive,
It's
and they're
awesome.
just still there holding the line. Like
It's so great when all right. So I'm not sure if anyone in the audience, anyone that is from Nashville, knows about this, but for a few years, things were really shaky on this really weird thing called Music Row that included a bunch of fucking great venues, but they were like mid to they're like Exit In, and there's a couple of other places that were just like up in the air. Exit In was the one that kind of got fucked, and it was there's like it's been just kind of a bummer watching that whole thing happen. But outside of everything, there's this spot called The End, and it looks like literally the last venue on earth. Like it's like awesome. The fact that it's
behind a bunch of other buildings.
Well, you can barely see it now too because of that like apartment complex that's to the right. It's just like you have to like go through like a little hallway now. Yeah.
So I hope that like I hope they own the space. I hope they own that land.
Too.
Because I don't see like there's a reason why it's called The End. It's like it will be there until the end of time.
Yes. Spring water will be there till the end of time. No one is taking spring water.
I always tell people, you want to start playing shows, go play a show at Springwater. First of all, anyone can play there. And it's also the oldest bar in Tennessee.
Yeah,
like,
it's insane.
It's so cool. Like everyone cuts their teeth there. I think Nashville wise, especially.
Absolutely.
I think touring, go on a tour, on your first tour. I feel like that's the best. Like one of those level 1 places where it's like you can get a spot, no problem. If everything else falls through, don't worry about it. And it's just it's not a safe place to play. But it is very fun, and again, a place to cut your teeth. There's just so many cool places in Nashville to play. I always go back to Cobra just because I've had just so many good times at Cobra. I feel like when it comes like the levels, I would say like Springwater, and I wouldn't say that The End is the beginning. I would say like Springwater and Cobra are like kind of level 1. And then like level 2, I'd put like East Room in The End. Like that you're starting like I'll never play Basement East like ever, but you could play the OG Basement, no problem. Like that place is awesome. Like there's levels to these venues, and there's just so many of them.
And they help with like they do their Fresh Faces.
Yeah, it's like a Wednesday Fresh Faces night.
New Faces
night. Yeah, Wednesday nights, and we played that. A lot of people I know, all genres. Like you play a New Faces night, and you never know who you're going to play with.
Oh, I know. And like it's nice to just like I like mixed genre stuff, especially for like early stuff. There's a lot of the weird parts about Nashville is there's also like this weird corporate stuff like breaking sound and like like this really gross stuff. Like I wish I could just like, burn down whatever place that is. Like whoever is running breaking sound or any of that weird corporate singer-songwriter stuff, it's just like, fuck you guys, dude. This is so gross. I did one of those and it was a fucking nightmare.
Was that at the Analog? Don't they do it there, right?
They do it. There's 2 that I know of. There's like Breaking Sound, like the level 0 of it. Breaking Sound, give me the mic. PM, which is like in the weird diner of is it East Side Bowl? East Side Bowl has technically 3 venues. There is the one by the bar, which is like jam band, like whatever, people to play.
The low volume lounge.
The low volume lounge,
That's what it's called. Yeah. I know this because of George Fest is at Eastside this year. So.
Yes, that's right. And they also have the other one. And that's in the diner.
The 58.
The 58. The 58, which is where they did this thing, and it was like the most awkward thing I've ever experienced in my whole life. It was like I went to go play a bunch of sad songs around a bunch of like 20-year-olds that are like playing like their best Taylor Swift, fucking like it was hilarious. I will never do it again. The fact that they said that I should do it doesn't means that they just needed that
They didn't do their research.
they didn't know what was going on. It's very funny, but like Nashville has just so, as you know, much as it is Music City, it just has everything. It doesn't have just country. It can,
right,
and it does, but it just has so much.
Yeah, there's even a jazz scene here too, like with
Rudy's.
Like it's crazy. You get some of everything here.
It's awesome. I feel like anything you have, like music kink wise, you can like totally scratch that itch, like not a problem.
Yeah,
wow, that's a good term. I'm stealing that.
Music
that's
kink.
Great.
Kink shame my music.
So let's talk about this next record that you guys got coming out. You have a new song called Doom Scroll. When is it officially going to be out?
May 23rd. So that, as of this recording, that is next Friday.
Next Friday, hell yeah. So this episode is going to be coming out next week on that Tuesday beforehand.
Nice.
Perfect.
So when you're hearing this, it is Tuesday. We're lying. It's Tuesday. That is the date. It is that day. But let's talk about it. It's really good. I would say of all the stuff that I've heard from you guys, this is like your most dynamic. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Is there something about this maximalist, almost like, it's not glam. Just because it has two guitars doing harmonies, like it doesn't make it glam. But there's a maximalist thing here, and like, you know, what draws you kind of to this sound?
Oh man,
I think it's honestly just like our upbringing. Like we grew up around, like my parents would just play classic rock like all the time. So there's a lot of, you know, Thin Lizzy, Boston.
Sure.
You know,
Boston for sure.
That are just, you
Definitely.
know, they're writing very melodic guitar parts that it doesn't have to constitute as a solo. It can be more of like an interlude or something. So I know that when we started writing songs together, like I'm a drummer, but I play guitar. So like it's in my blood. But like when we start playing together, that's usually what we end up doing is like, well, here's a cool melody, and then it's like one of us.
It's like, oh, all right, I'll do the third up,
Yeah,
and there, yeah,
right.
like, okay, cool.
Yeah. When we had Isaac playing with us, it was like he just like naturally knew exactly which one to go to.
Yeah.
Like it was just instinct. Like there's no scenario where both guitars are playing the same thing. We just always harmonize something, pretty much. But for this song specifically, like it is about like just getting lost in like the absolute chaos of the world right now, and just getting sucked into it and doom scrolling, obviously. And like we pulled together a lot of those elements and made, especially the ending of the song, it's like so chaotic. There's like all these different vocal parts happening at the same time.
Oh yeah,
And,
it's
like,
huge. There's so much.
Yeah, and like Steve like was the first one that pointed that out. He was like, this is like the doom scrolling in your mind.
Yeah.
It's like all the different things happening at once.
You have all these headlines floating around that's like, you're like, I'm not safe here. This is just terrifying. And that's exactly what the feeling of like being lost on your freaking phone just.
There's something about like,
time.
I've heard a lot of people talk about, and I'm still trying to form my own opinion about it, but I've heard a lot of people talk about that we weren't supposed to be this connected, and like we weren't supposed to have access to this much information. And I, as someone that is like tries to do as much as they can and like tries to learn as much as they can, there is value in the information, you know, that we have. Like, you know, the Wikipedia part of it is great. I can go and learn something whenever I want. Is the way that, you know, this stuff is shoved down our throats the best way? I think maybe that's like the big fucking problem, where like my attention span, like, all right, so there's this guy that's sailing from fucking Oregon to Hawaii right now. Like he sold his sold his 401k or cashed it out, quit his job, bought a fucking sailboat. I think homie already knew how to sail. That he doesn't really convey it.
Yeah.
Like like homie already knew how to sail, but like that's like the established like leap of faith jump we're all supposed to take into like this journey. And I just sat like for the first time. I feel like I finally like enjoyed a content from like one person, and I just watched like from beginning of this account to now, like over the course of like 45 minutes, and that was cool. But like I feel like if you're getting bombarded like from a million different accounts, like one every 5 seconds, like that is where like I think that's where the brain damage comes from.
Oh yeah. It's too much. It's just overload.
Everyone wants a piece of your attention.
Yeah.
You know, and there's only so much you can give. So then everyone has kind of like fractured their attention into smaller doses that they can give out to people. So it's like, okay, you have 5 seconds, you have 10 seconds, you have 15 seconds.
And if it doesn't suit me, I'm on to the next.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's not great. As someone that like, you know, is on their phone and working it from home, like it's just there's something like you feel kind of gross. You kind of feel like you want to throw your phone. Once you kind of catch yourself, you're like, oh, God, I need to.
Yeah.
What have I been doing? What time is it? God.
Sometimes I do actually throw my phone. It's like, get this away from me. God, I need to do anything else.
Same. Like there's a couch back here in the studio, and I'll often be like scrolling and be like, wait, I was supposed to be like recording a guitar part, and I like throw my phone back to the couch.
Yeah, it's just you kind of catch yourself. It's gross. It's weird. I wonder what the next 5 years looks like, whether there'll be like, you know, hey, you know, what if there's like some bill that's like, well, all content can't be skipped. It's like because we found out like we're like the content, the skipping of the like I can see them like swing it into like it can't be skipped. You have to at least stay at 30 seconds because if it's skipped to by more than that, that's when like the damage occurs, or it's just there's so much just weird stuff that I can see them trying to like fuck with. That and it's just not great. The dollars and the way that we view this stuff is has turned into money, and that's just like the weirdest thing to me.
Who was it? I saw something that it was like a smart TV or somebody was like making a like an ad that you have to be present there. Like you have to say the name of the brand.
I read about that.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was that was doing it though. They were like, say the name of the brand in the ad in order to skip the ad. Like, so they're listening to you watching this ad. And they're literally forcing it on you. Like, I think it might have been Roku or something.
Oh my God.
That was like
that just sounds like
that.
a fucking night. We're so cooked. Everything is just so cooked.
It's bad. And like soon enough, it's going to be like straight up neuralinked into your fucking brain. Like everyone's got the chip. Okay, here's an ad that you can't skip in your brain. Like
the closer we get to Black Mirror, the more I want out.
Speaking of that, have you guys seen the new season of Black Mirror?
No, I haven't. It's
okay.
I've only watched like 3 seasons of it, and it's just like I could just go watch the news and get the same thing.
Exactly. I think that Charlie Brooker said like he was gonna slow his roll once that starts happening. I think he's there.
Well, the reason I was saying that is because this exact topic is one of the episodes.
Okay, cool.
Like the subliminal advertising that you cannot get rid of, kind of thing. Not to give too many spoilers away, but that is one of the episodes.
Are you guys doing the Josie and the Pussycats movie? Have you guys ever seen that?
Oh man,
have you seen it? I haven't seen it.
If I have, I don't remember a thing about it.
So Josie and the Pussycats. First of all, everyone needs to see this movie. You pause the fuck here and everyone go see it. It's like Rosario Dawson, Rachel Lee Scott. It's about TRL. It's about boy bands. It's like this perfect 2005, 2006 movie about the cartoon Josie and the Pussycats, but it's about like subliminal messaging and the stuff that they put like underneath CDs and stuff, and it's like all about it. I highly recommend it because there's like a fight scene with Carson Daly. Like it's so good. Everyone needs to go fucking see this. But the reason why I thought about that is because like the subliminal messaging thing nowadays is just crazy.
Yeah, I remember I saw the cartoon version of
Yes.
it. I just never saw like the live action one.
It's very good. I highly recommend it.
Cool. I'm gonna go watch that right now. Let's pause. quick
Hell yeah.
hour and a half break.
So would you say that the record is kind of about all this kind of Black Mirror stuff, like that crosses the line?
Actually, yes.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. It's kind of all about, especially as like we get older, we're both 33, and so I think we're getting to a point in our lives where it's kind of always in the back of our head, like, all right, how much longer can we be doing this? And like,
oh yeah,
like, that voice gets louder, and I think the album itself is kind of catering to that mentality, which is like trying to cope with that while also still trying to do the thing that you love doing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and it's just about all the album is very much a different vibe from what we had on Dry Spell. Like Dry Spell was a breakup album overall, and this one is much more like we get into some real shit. Like I feel like our songs are like pretty lighthearted, but I do like we get into some heavier stuff on this album, like topic wise.
The lightheartedness is still there at times, but it's just reined in maybe a little bit.
Right, and we try to make it like still fun. Like we poke fun at it and stuff, but there's certain songs where it's just like there's only like you can't make fun of certain things. Like
Totally.
It's just like, wow, this shit sucks.
Yeah.
Like Never Again was like a song about not bringing fucking Donald Trump back and then see what happened. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like, I feel like making political music is, a punk music will always be political. Rock music, I feel like can and should be political. Like there's stuff that you could say. Was there something about like, okay, cool, I want to write a record about this? Or like, what was like the moment where you were like, okay, everything has been, shitty, and I'm going to just have that like focus into, that into my brain, into my hands, to the guitar, and just like see how everything goes.
I mean, yeah, I think that was a subconscious thing. Like the songs we were writing just happened to be about terrible things that are happening.
Yeah.
And we were like, wow, there's a lot of similarities between all these songs we've got. And I mean, we've got more than enough to where.
So we actually wrote like almost 2 albums.
Nice.
So we've had, I believe, about 20 something songs that we wrote during this like 5-year window. And so we had to narrow it down. We finally narrowed it down to, I believe we settled on 10 now.
Cool.
But I think it's gonna come out like probably spring 2026. That's kind of what we're looking at, the full thing.
Out.
But we're gonna have we'll have more singles and stuff coming out this year.
Are you doing? Is there anything about like y'all are doing this by yourselves through your own record label? There's no pressure on except from yourselves, technically.
Right.
Was there any pressure from like the societal stuff, the TikTok stuff, the Instagram, the Twitter, that kind of stuff, where like that has told you to do specific a specific amount of singles, do something with it? What are the things that you feel like you have to do? 1099 in your own music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's I mean, yeah, the single is king right now, so it's like that's kind of, we're definitely taking more of that approach. Again, kind of bringing back that like people's attention spans are not great right now, so the idea of putting out one song incentivizes people to listen to one song at a time. They can listen to it, they can move on with their day, or listen to it again, But I think the goal here was to get enough songs that can stand on their own as singles, that where we can kind of just trickle it out over the course of the next 9 months or whatever, and by the time we have released everything, then there's a full project that we can put our stamp on,
Hell yeah.
For sure. Yeah, and like the whole content thing, like that has driven like pretty much the entire way we've decided to release it. Because before we used to, I mean, we always release singles before the album, but it would be like 2 or 3. But now we're pretty much like gonna trickle out the entire album, like one single at a time.
So by the time the album releases, how many songs do you think you'll have released from the record?
I think we're gonna do all of them. We're gonna do
9
like
of the
all of
10.
them.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's the plan.
I mean, there's literally nothing wrong with that. Like,
Yeah, it's
there's
just kind of
honestly, there's
adapting.
kind of nothing. It's weird. When I think about it, I was trying to think who I was talking to about this. Before Spotify, and maybe the reason why Spotify was pitched to be this thing is like before then, you had to be on the radio, right, in order to promote anything. It was about accessibility. That was the only way you could like listen to music before it was like released. And so like I think T-Pain talked about if you want a single, if you want somebody to go on the radio, you need $100,000 to start. That's what it costs to get all the radio stations to get it all. But Spotify allows for anyone to get anything up there, which said that, kind of reset everything. And
Right.
And it said, okay, everyone can do this now. You can set up, you go through a distributor. Now there's like 6 distributors that you can go through, and you can get your music, you pay to get it up there, and anyone can do it. Now, the thing is that they also reset how things can go onto Spotify. Where something has the gravity towards these single things is all in part of like the TikTok thing, the way that we're getting shorter and shorter attention spans, where it's like single at a time. I don't remember the concept of the single being like a released song, or maybe it was just the song that was on the radio before the record came out. I don't remember what singles were. I remember singles used to be just like its own fucking little record.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you got to just like, it was just like a little 8-inch that had one song and then a B-side of that fucking one song. Do you find that like it's easy because of the way that Spotify has said, okay, anyone can kind of do whatever they want? Do you think that it's easier to just like kind of do what everyone else is doing in terms of like this new space? Or do you feel like there are benefits to just kind of like saying fuck it and like putting out all 20 songs just even at just one time suddenly, or never like release your hand the whole time? What would you say is like the benefits of like interestingly like this new Spotify system?
Oh man, that's a good question, and I think it really depends on like who you are and what your status is as an artist. Because Taylor Swift could drop 20 songs at once and they would all do well.
Yeah, totally, straight up.
If we dropped 20 songs at once, like no one would know about it, Like it would be like, okay, cool. Hey, there's this thing. And then a week later, you have
Taylor Swift releasing 20 songs.
Yeah,
right.
totally.
Exactly. Yeah. So like, I feel like in a way it has made things easier because it's like, okay, focus on just one song at a time, like break it down. But like for us, like we don't really want to like, we didn't want to start releasing singles until we had like the full idea of it. So in some ways it's made it easier, and it's also made it harder because you have to wait longer to start releasing your singles. You don't have to do anything, but just the way that we did it is we waited longer until we had like the whole album pretty much done. We're still finishing it up.
Yeah, totally.
But like all the songs are written, all the songs are mostly recorded. We're just like adding in extra parts and mixing and all that. But it's made it harder in some ways and easier in some ways. But I think overall the single strategy is like it's easier,
Yeah, I would say so.
Like you just focus on one song and then like, okay, a few months later, okay, cool, let's do this next song, put that out. Like if you wanted to, you could write and record a song and release it like as you write them.
Right. And, you know, it's also kind of nice because you always have something to promote. It's not like, here's an album, then we're radio silent for a year or two.
5 years.
Yeah,
5
it's
years.
like the album is kind of like, I think that what we're kind of being told by the big record label companies because of the success of like the way that they're promoting singles and how they're not even part of albums, they're just individual songs, is that I think that there's something about record labels, the big, the big ones, they want like albums to die in a really weird way, where it's like, just release these songs, fuck like any kind of like merch or big record stuff. Like suddenly 15 songs comes out from Olivia Rodrigo, where they can make more money on each individual song.
Oh, yeah.
I think that but the whole thing is the music community is inherently disobedient. So like maybe I think that is like why we're kind of seeing on the edges of everything big records coming back.
Yeah.
And like albums are coming back. But still on the promotion aspect, that is where still like, we haven't seen a slowdown of we should probably pivot away from, exploding, too many songs from this record. We should, people are still making good money on releasing one song at a time. And even doing multiple singles. I think Foxing had like 12 songs on their record Draw Down the Moon, and they did 6 of them as fucking singles. Like it was just like a ridiculous thing, and but it felt disobedient. It felt like they were doing their own thing, and that's just kind of what it feels like with everyone. Like you're going to release 9 songs before a 10th song comes out with the rest of the record. Like that feels like sick and like disobedient and different.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, though, it kind of sucks because Spotify has sort of like dictated how we should be releasing music.
Yeah, totally.
Like,
which is bullshit.
They have created these limits that are like, if you want your song to do well, you want to put out a song every 6 to 8 weeks, and like if you consistently do that time frame, your songs will compound on each other. And you will get more streams because of it. Like your monthly listeners will start to fall right when the next one picks it up.
Are y'all going to do a waterfall?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
We've been doing waterfalls.
So the only thing, this is the one weird thing so when we did a waterfall with our record. And one of the weirdest things is that by the time we released 4 singles from it, and that when we released like what people are calling the Planter EP, it's not an EP. It was just the final single. It just had all 4 of the singles. And so it was like one of the weirdest things where you're like, okay, I can't, like, Apple Music will let you show all the songs and show each individual one show up as they're released, and then all of them will be unlocked. Spotify doesn't let you do that. It just is. It's only like you have 4 different pieces of art. Now 5 because you still have the album art. Like, so each one, it looks like its own individual release. And if you catch someone and it's on the 4th release and it has 4 songs in it, they're gonna be like, I love this EP, dude. It's like the weirdest thing.
Yeah. This EP is great, but it's really just 4 singles that are part of an album.
And then I would have to go back and see the one that has 3 and go, wait a minute, what's going on? Why is there, if this one's missing? Oh, this is strange. It's like waterfall is only the term that we all know. Like, it's very strange.
To everyone else, it looks like we're just releasing like multiple EPs back to back to back to back.
And cheating because they keep having the same fucking songs in it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, yeah, and it gets messy on your profile, like just seeing all of that. Like, a lot of people will release it like that and then go back and delete them. Yep. But keep the ISRC code numbers, so you keep the streams and all that.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and that's a lot of labels like will take care of that for you, and like it's just there's so much weird stuff on the back end that like audiences just don't know about.
Oh, totally.
Oh yeah. And then, all of this to say, I still love when King Gizzard throws just another record of a year.
Disobediency. They do whatever they want.
I love that. And there's still a part of me that's like, oh, I would love to just do that. Like no promotion, just here you go.
Yeah, it's
just throw an album out.
I like the balls that they have just to do that, and they've just been doing that the entire time, which
for
is
their whole career.
Yeah,
it's insanity.
Awesome. Yeah,
like,
they do an album every 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How many do they put out a year? Isn't it like 2 or 3?
I saw they only did one in 2023, like yesterday.
Only did one.
It's because they normally do between 3 or 4.
Yeah. God damn.
So listen, I'm gonna play the new song, Doom Scroll. It's very cool. Here is Doom Scroll by Ghost Town Remedy.
Summer's hotter than ever before. Ditch that house by the shore, 'cause soon you'll be drowning. Flowers bloom in Antarctica like an orchestra in a cold library. Microplastics for breakfast, racing towards 3 degrees Celsius. Elon bails in his rocket ship while the planet devours us. Atomic ball drop at midnight. Kiss baby, black rain and graphite. Going shades 'cause the future's so bright. It's burning into my retinas, an endless sea of apathy. I tried so hard to forget you, but you're all I see. Can't fall asleep tonight. Another day in the land of the free. Hear the children scream, cry out for their mothers. Thoughts and prayers on Fox TV. The morning routine in 2 weeks it won't matter. Bulletproof backpacks, DNRAs making fat stacks. Teachers with clocks under their desks. Oh yeah, that surely will solve this. Force birth will keep us in labor. Pump out more minimum wagers. Make sure they're dumb, poor and anchored to serve our billionaire saviors. It's burning into my retinas, an endless sea of apathy. I tried so hard to forget you, but you're all I see. Can't fall asleep tonight. And I wanna feel something. It's better than nothing. I need to feel anything at all. I'm getting high in the morning just so I can't ignore this. I need to feel anything at all. I wanna feel something. It's better than nothing. I need to feel anything at all. I'm getting high in the morning just so I can't ignore this. I need to feel anything at all. Anything at I wanna feel something. It's better than nothing. I tried so hard to forget. I'm getting high in the morning just so I can't ignore this.
That was Doom Scroll by Ghost Town Remedy. Homies, thank you so much for fucking hopping on, talking
Thanks for
shit
having
about
us.
Nashville with us.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Thanks.
just another day in the life.
Yeah, dude. I fucking love it. Congratulations on Jorts Fest. Getting, the lineup is insane. So feel free to do big plug times.
Yeah. I mean, So big plug. We've got a tour coming up with Dad Hats at the end of May. We're hitting the Midwest. That's our plug. After that, we've got Jorts Fest. This is the one. I've been working on this like all year. Absolutely insane lineup. We got Laura Jane Grace. We got Illuminati Hotties. We got Bass Drum of Death. MC Lars. Nordista Freeze. Slow Shiv, which is like the former members of Diarrhea Planet. That's their new project.
Cool.
Who else is on it? I'm missing somebody else big. Gully Boys. Yeah, we've got Gully Boys. Like it's going to be a fun time. June 6th and 7th at Eastside Bowl. Any other plugs we got? I mean, we got Doom Scroll is out, as you just heard.
Check that out.
Yeah.
Look out for our waterfalls and
our 10 EPs that will be coming out throughout the rest of the year.
All right, well, hell
Yeah.
guys. Listen, have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll talk to y'all soon.
Hell yeah. Thanks so much.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.